Oh, little snugglers. Little snuggles. Good morning, Anno. I'm sorry I'm so late. I got completely distracted. I suddenly saw the time and was like, uh-oh. Yeah, very distracted. Good morning, Hansan. Good morning, Palin. Good morning, Max. I don't have to get the bus straight away afterwards, though, so I can just go over. I can do the hours starting from now. Just suddenly saw the time and was like, when did that happen? Hyperfocus. Good morning, Ravane, and Joe, and Mazira, and David, and G-Vote, and Platypus. Everyone's having a lovely snuggle under the table. It is another grey day today, unfortunately. Well, actually, I get the feeling it might mean that it's nicer at the weekend. As long as it's not morning rough. As long as it's not rainy at the weekend, because we do have to go out to Thornbury, which is very, very, very north Bristol. There are places that they say, like, in Bristol, and then you look at them on a map and you're like, is that still Bristol? But yeah, going up there. Good morning, Stereo and Achancho and Minion and Duncan. Hello. Bunnies, would you like your breakfast? Don't know if I'd count Thornbury as... Yeah, see, that's the thing. It says, like... Oh, what have I done with that? Do you know what? So after realising, like, oh my gosh, I'm so late, look at the time. I then was like, it's Friday, I need to find the bananas. And I was like, I swear I bought 2 bananas. So I was like walking around like, where are the bananas? It turns out one of us had put them in the fridge. And I just wasn't expecting them to be in there. So that confused me. I'm just hiding things from myself. Ascenta, I can see the message. Ascenta, thank you very much for the 4 months. She lives. I do. It's not a place for bananas. I know. Right. Let's. Oh, yeah. The squeaking of my knees. I know it's time for food. Whoop. There you go, babies. Babies. Do. I had such a strange Zara, thank you very much for the 31 months. Oh no, I'm gonna sneeze. Good morning, how you doing? I had such a strange dream last night that I didn't record because I sort of jumped out of bed. But it was so bizarre, and it was good morning, Mike. Good morning, Palmer. It was that there was this thing, this like competition that always happened in my town, which it doesn't. Sorry, the sneeze is still like threatening to come, so every time I talk, I'm just like, huh. But yeah, it was this competition where you had to like, they would put plastic balls into a river and you had to invent a thing. Money, Emma. You had to invent a thing, like some sort of contraption that would scoop them up. But it had to be like part of you, like a robot suit sort of thing. You couldn't just like stand outside the river. You had to be in the river to do this. And I had this thing that was like a basket on my head that would scoop these things. And I was going around and scooping. And then I was like, oh, I need to go and hand in all of my things. But not all of them were balls. Like some of them were just like small plastic toys and plastic spades and stuff. Plastic balls in a river sounds like the hail we had yesterday. No, you couldn't use your hands. It had to be some sort of like contraption. And I did that. And then I was trying to find where you like hand in so they could count how many you got. And I was like walking around with this strange contraption on, and I met an old friend of mine who I haven't seen in years, who I used to work with on film stuff. And he was like guiding me around to where you had to go to. And suddenly the floor was really slippy, and he was like, do you want to like get one ice skate each, or do you want to share them? And I looked across and there was like this table. This is a dream for people who have just joined. There was a table that had like just the blades of ice skates that I guess you were just meant to like stand on somehow. And I was like, no, I'm no good at like ice skating. Let's just walk around the long way. And then literally as soon as I got to the desk where you hand them in, they had put like a little sign out saying, like, please go to reception instead. We're closed. So we had to walk all the way back. So we were just making our way back. And I don't think I ever actually got to the desk. I remember us leaving, but I don't remember ever actually going to the desk and having my my total counted. And yeah, and then I just went home and went to bed. That was the dream. It started off as this really like crazy epic town event, and then I was like, do you know what? I'm just gonna go to bed. Yeah, my name is. Can I ice skate IRL? I've done it once. I think there's an ice skating rink in Hertfordshire somewhere. Is that one in? No, not Stevenage, surely. I think that there is one somewhere for like a. Oh, is it Hemel? Oh, Hemel Hempstead. I remember going to an ice skating rink for a friend's birthday party. But I never I'm basically I walk like a baby freshborn giraffe as it is. So adding ice and sliding into the equation is never particularly good for me. Where Aquasplash used to be. Maybe I didn't go to that one then because Aquasplash was still alive and thriving when I left Hertfordshire. So I don't know what would have been open when I was little. Does Hemel still is it Hemel that has the snow dome? Like with the fake what you call it? Like the fake ski slope? Okay. Maybe Aquasplash was closed. There's a temporary winter one in the Galleria sometimes. Oh, I remember those. Sorry, this is just Hertfordshire talk now. Exact. Thank you very much for the 3 months. Thank you. I hope you're doing good. Whereas in my town, we roller skated, not ice skated. That wasn't like that was where you would have parties. We basically, in my hometown, there is a building that is the library / meeting room / events hall / roller skate rink / cinema. Because we don't really have space to have those things in separate buildings. So that one building was it just served all of those purposes. And if you were having a birthday, it was probably in that building. Like, regardless of what event you were doing. It was, and it was opposite the college as well. So you would spend a lot of time in that area. But yeah, I remember going to a couple of roller skating parties there. Is the ice skating easy if you can roller skate? I mean, I would imagine so. Well, I don't know. Again, I'm not particularly good at either. I've done both. I can't say. I don't think I ever fell over, but I don't think I ever thrived at either. I have fallen over in roller skates before, though, but that was because me and my friends one time decided, I think it must have been like after someone's roller party, we decided that we were going to invent a new sport that was roller football. And we put on our roller skates and we went to the school playground. We broke into the school playground and we took a football, and then I swung my leg to kick the football, and then obviously the motion just meant that my other foot slid up and I just fell right over onto my back. And then we were like, this is why no one's invented roller football before. And then that was the entire career of roller football. It stopped there and then. It died that day. Were they quads or blades? They were quads. I don't think we had. I don't remember ever having roller blades. There's a hill near where my friend lived that I skated down, and there was basically like, she lived at the bottom of the hill. There was one big hill and one little road that turned off to the side, and I was trying to go down that one hill, and then my heel got caught, one of my wheels got caught in the drain on the corner as you turn around, and I ended up spinning round and then just falling down the little hill. And again, I was like, no, I don't think skating's for me. So yeah, I think if I did it now, I would be terrified. I don't think I could be trusted. Fifi is molting so much. Like, the more I stroke her. Do you have any childhood stories that don't end in and then I felt, well, to be fair, these are roller skating childhood stories, and I feel like probably most of those end in falling down. I feel like anything involving you being on wheels as a child usually ends up in falling over. But then again, I didn't learn to ride a bike until I was in adulthood, really. So, but, on my 18th birthday, I went over the handlebars of my bike. So then I fell down. So even that story does end sort of in wait, was it my 18th or my 21st? I think it was my 18th. I think that was around about when I started to learn to ride a bike. Well, no, it was that year, so I guess I wasn't in adulthood. I went over the handlebars in adulthood. But what was my favourite birthday party? My favourite birthday party was probably, as a child, I don't know. So there used to be this guy who is still going in my town. He was like the town magician. And okay, obviously this is with like a big, what do you call it? When you put like a big footnote, a very large footnote, that I would know better now. But back in my day, we had this town magician, and he had a rabbit. And so he would come to your house and he would do his little thing, and he would never pull the bunny out of the hat, but at the end he would be like, here's my bunny, do you want to hold the bunny and pet the bunny? And obviously I loved that as a child. Looking back now, I'm like, that was obviously a very bad thing, and he probably didn't know any better, and he doesn't have a bunny now and stuff. But as a child, I did really like that. He was like the town magician / swimming instructor, so he did also teach me how to swim. Again, I'm from a small town. These are the sorts of characters you had in town. Well, he was one of two people who taught me how to swim. But yeah, but I think those were my favourite birthday parties. where I've forgotten what the name of his. We had a guy called Bongo Clive who would go to birthday parties and play the bongo. Oh my gosh. I do have it's very 90s to have a magician birthday party. Yeah, it's true. It's true. We have 800 people here and we don't have a town magician. You have to get to at least 900 people to get your town magician. To earn the town magician upgrade. The magician swimming teacher. I'm trying to think. He had like a really cool name and I can't think what it was. But I do have a photo of me. I think the bunny was called Honey Bunny, if I remember rightly. They were like a white bunny. But I can't remember what the guy's name was. As in, like, I remember his real name, but I can't remember what his stage name was. His magician name. Maybe that was part of the magic, that it'd make you forget it as soon as he left the room. But yeah, I do have photos of me as a child holding the bunny though. But I was surprised. It's so strange this should come up because I found, so the town magician is good friends with my auntie, and she went out to a party recently and he was there and she tagged him in a photo on Facebook that I saw. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've not thought about him in ages, like other than being like my auntie's friend. But I saw on his profile, I was like, oh, I'm going to see what he's up to nowadays. And he still had magic stuff. And I was like, oh, he's still a practicing magician. I guess the magic never leaves you. So maybe he could come down and do my next year's birthday party. Maybe we could get him down for Jingle Jam. But yeah. I just remember he had a lot of, this is going to be really difficult to describe unless you grew up as a child in the UK in the 90s, because I think this was a very 90s childhood thing. But a lot of his tricks involved like wooden frames and he'd tell a story and then make different things appear in the wooden frame. And it was, yeah, I can't think how to describe it further than that, but I only sort of know what I mean. Our magician's rabbit was called Magic. Ah, he would later call his cat Merlin, or at least he was consistent. Yes, I know what you mean as a 90s UK kid. See, I knew that was going to be such a specific thing. But they would have these, like, picture boxes, sort of like wooden picture boxes. And then he'd be like, well, the thing is that little Timmy would walk down and then little Timmy would be like, whoa, what's this in front of me? And then in the picture frame would, like, appear like a tree or something, and it'd be like, how'd this tree get hit? And like, it wasn't stuff like that. It was like a much more exciting story than that. But it was, and you'd be like, wait, how is he changing this? This is amazing. It was that sort of thing. You've watched too much wooden frame. Go outside and play with your stick and hoop. Memory unlocked. Yeah, do you know? You don't see them anymore. They don't make them like they used to, the old magician's wooden frames, but you know what I mean. They would magically change the scene in the frame as they tell the story. Yes, oh my gosh, I wonder if you can still get those. Ginger, thank you very much for the 28 months. Oh, it's a sin against the cosmos to use nuclear energy. How could you say that when the first thing a deity did to humanity was split the atom? Oh no. Oh no. Took him little ribs. I'm a South American 90s kid and I have no idea what she's on about. This sort of magic was rife in the UK in the 90s. I wonder if we'd have like any photos of him during his act. Next time I go home, I mean, if I remember this, or maybe I could get my mum to send me a photo of it. I'm trying to think how old I would have been when I had this particular party. I wonder if there'd be... I'm going to have to try and find this. It's, I feel like because I was born the same year as the original PlayStation came out. What year did the PlayStation come out? I mean, I remember having a PS1. And then a PS1, as in the word actually spelled out. 1993? Ah, that's nothing. I remember PlayStation coming out. I remember buying PlayStation magazine for the demo discs. And the rich lore on Tekken. I remember the Tekken special edition when Tekken 2 came out. And they did like a big double page spread about all the lore of Tekken. Good times. The Tekken hype was real, it was. I remember entering a Tekken tournament over in France. I say like a Tekken tournament like it was blooming ESL, but no, it was at our campsite. The campsite had a PlayStation and like 8 of us were nerds. So we had a tournament. Maxwell, thank you very much for the 16 months. Oh, and Gerry, thank you for the kisses. Thank you for these kisses. Those are very lovely. Gerry fell asleep last night. He was curled up like a little croissant, and he was lying alongside my leg. And then I just felt his little head like hit my leg, and he had just flopped back with such power and fallen asleep. Like his head flopped back and his little leggy stretched out, and I was like, oh, he's just doing a big stretch. And I looked over and I was like, no, he's fast asleep. He was just hongshu mimi. And I managed to take a little photo of him, and then Fifi, who saw me move and was like, oh, food, ran over, and he was like, what? But it was very lovely. Lovely little snuggles. I did put a picture in floofs. I ummed and ahed about it because my little tummy was on display because I was lying on my side, and then I was like, I can show a little bit of flesh for the sake of a sleepy Gerry. My Discord doesn't run on Victorian policies. I'll be fine. I'm sure the elders won't be shocked. How did we get onto... Oh, we're talking about birthdays. I did used to like a Frankie and Benny's birthday. Had a lot of those, but those were in like teenage years. When he's just a sleepy boy. When I was in like... I used to work in this shop called MVC/Music Zone. Because they changed hands. And all of our birthdays and all of our work dues were all at Frankie and Benny's. And 3 of us had birthdays in March. So we would just have like one joint birthday at Frankie and Benny's and then go to bowling. We would go to the one in Stevenage that had a Hollywood Bowl next to it. So we would do like bowling and Frankie and Benny's. And that was just the set birthday for years. Although I did once have a birthday at Frankie and Benny's Hatfield in the Galleria, and I set fire to my hair. I think that's the only time I've been there. No, I think I went there again once. But my friends bought me a birthday cake that they bring out, and I leant forward to blow out the candles and my hair sort of swooshed forward. And I just heard my friend next to me scream, and I turned around to be like, what are you screaming about? And I just saw flames, and I was like, oh, probably that. And And my hair's out of burning for weeks. And then my saddest birthday, which I keep thinking about, but I keep thinking I shouldn't tell this story. I had a... No, I shouldn't. I would make everyone too sad. I don't want everyone to pity me. But yeah, my 30th was the first time we ever went to karaoke. That was nice. Too late you've started. It was like my 17th birthday, maybe. It was one of those birthdays that it was like the first birthday where it was more, or maybe it was like 15th. Whatever it was like the first birthday that it was me actually like arranging it. Like before then it was like more of your parents doing. And then this was the first birthday that I was like, I'm going to arrange my own birthday. I am a grown-up. And I booked out a massive table at Pizza Hut and I invited people, and then only like 2 of my friends showed up. And I just remember having this really sad pizza sat around this massive table with loads of empty chairs and just being like, oh. And I remember like one of the friends I feel bad because I don't remember. I think I remember which 2 it was, but one of them I definitely remember because he was just like one of the nicest people I've ever met, and he always was and probably always will be, and he's very lovely. And I'm like, yeah, it would be him who would have showed up for anyone. Ted wasn't there, but I don't think Ted was invited. So that's fine. Ted's off the hook. Come on in, Arno. But yeah, it's one of my friends he is a teacher now, which I think he's very well suited for. He's very lovely, the most musical person I've ever met. And but yeah, I just remember thinking the whole time, like, they must be feeling so bad for me, and that's making me feel bad for me, and all. And after that, I literally was like, I'm not gonna. I think. Oh no, wait, maybe I was older than that. Because if I had my 18th at Frankie and Benny's, maybe it was my 19th. I can't remember. But basically, after that, I was like, I'm not going to have birthday things. And then I just didn't celebrate my birthday until like my 30th birthday, because I was like so scared that people just wouldn't show up. I was like, people don't come to my birthday, I won't have a birthday thing. So yeah, for years I didn't. Whereas now, I'm just like, screw it. Everyone is so British, they feel obligated to come to my birthday, so I'm going to make everyone do things. I've gone completely 180. Was this in the period where Ted forgot you existed? I think it would have been in between. I think he would still know who I was. My saddest birthday, I was like 5 and I threw a fit because my mum didn't come. Oh no. Oh, that is stinky. That is a very stinky birthday. I hope you've had good birthdays that overwrite it since. I guess a lot of the time it's like there's your family, and then there's the family that you adopt, aka friends. And I guess, you learn which family you want around in life. I'm very blessed with a very lovely family, thankfully. But I also do have my little adopted family, like Gerry and my dad. You just didn't invite. Ted was in my brother's year. It would have been really weird if I had have had people in like, I'm just going to invite this one of my brother's friends to my birthday. There's one guy who just thinks I'm really annoying. I'm literally his friend's annoying little sister. But you want to come along anyway? I didn't know I was going to know Ted in later life. I would have put in more effort to know Ted if I had of. Come on in, Rob. I have just like Ted's just one of those people who I've just always known. I just don't really know. But I have no specific memory of. um, but I'm sure we must have talked maybe at some point. I don't remember. I mean, obviously, I have memories of him now. But not before we knew each other. I just know that I know he. Whereas Ted has a very specific memory of us talking together at the bus stop. But the problem with that story is that I used to walk home and I didn't get the bus. So I think Ted remembers me as being someone else. Either that, or there is a scenario where I liked Ted so much that I would wait at the bus stop talking to him, and then I would walk home afterwards. Maybe I was smitten with Ted. Maybe that's the option. But again, I have no memory of this. Asking who is Ted. So Ted is, right, the story of Ted is, so Ted was in my brother's year at school. He's a couple years older than me. And I knew him just as like a friend of my brother. And then years go by, we don't talk. Because I guess you don't really talk to the kids like that much older than you in school. Ted follows me on Twitch and doesn't recognize me at all, despite the fact my name is my... I have a webcam and my name is my name on Twitch. And it took for Kirsty to tell me... So then Kirsty had a dream that she learned Ted's real name. And then it turned out she was actually right. So she told me his name. And I was like, wait. And then she was like, oh, and you know he's from blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wait, what? And then I suddenly went, I literally know him. So I was like, Ted, what the heck? And I like messaged him being like, you're this guy from my school. And he was like, yeah, wait, are you blah, blah? And I was like, yes, you know my name and you've seen my face. So basically, Ted just entirely forgot who I was and didn't recognize me until I found out who he was. And that is the story of Ted. Yeah, literally, Anhol. I was like, are you blah, blah? And he was like, wait, are you Bryony? And I was like, yes. Who else would I be? So it's just really strange, like suddenly finding out that this person that you sort of vaguely knew from chat was like this person you knew for 10 years of your childhood sort of thing. It's just, dear oh dear. Did I walk in on a Ted dream? No, this was Ted reality. Ted just genuinely forgot who I was, didn't recognize me. But yes, cleverly disguised as myself. Yes, I was hiding in plain sight. Fifi. Sorry, she was in the fireplace, stealing the cards. What'd she do? What'd she do? She's having a sniffle snuffle. It's the worm outfit I had on, yeah. I had an idea for another worm TikTok and I was wondering about whether I should do it. Oh, she's zooming. Hello. Please don't disturb the boy. He pee. Oh, Fifi. I think that would count as disturbing the boy. It's okay. He doesn't seem to be that disturbed. You having fun there? You thinking how you can further disturb the boy? Oh dear. Put our butt on his face. Yeah. He doesn't mind. He's too eepy. He's too eepy to mind. I was invited to a reunion from school the other day. What, I saw the word debate and then tried to say every other word as the word debate, debating whether I should go or not. I mean, I guess the thing is, like, there's people who I really didn't like from school, and I still hold them to that standard when really I'm like, I mean, I guess these people, they were just awkward children then. Like, I'm literally judging them as like 15-year-olds. Whereas I would hope that people, it was a tissue, Fifi. I was wiping my nose. So I do wonder, like, oh, could they be different to oh, Fifi. Look, he's had to get up to adjust him blankie. Look at you. I was chatting to one of my school friends about this and how I have beef with people. I can't even remember why. Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's like, I think I would be curious to go to a reunion of the people in the year 2 years above me, because I was more friends with people 2 years above me than I was with anyone in my own year. So if there was like a reunion of them, but then again, we could just arrange to have a group friend meetup. But everyone's all over the place. I genuinely had a dream about one of my, no, Ted was 4 years above me. Most of my friends were 2 years above. But so he was in that sort of awkward stage. So my school was split into like 3 years, 2 years, 2 years. So when I joined school and for the next year, he would have been in like the separate section of the school. And then by the time I would have got into that section, he would have been in the sixth form building. So I guess, oh my gosh, that was the loudest tummy rumble. Yeah, I wouldn't have crossed paths with him too much. Whereas the ones 2 years above, I would have just been in with, sort of thing. Hiccup. Oh, look at he. What a croissant. But yeah, oh, guess these. Sorry, hay fever is in full force today. I'm such a little snot gremlin. Thank you. It's one of those things that every time it rains, I'm like, oh, good. The rain is going to dampen down all the pollen, and then I remember that it's actually like it meant to kick up the pollen when it rained, and so I get this false sense of security of like, oh, I'm gonna be fine today. I won't take a antihistamine, and then it's like, oh. Yes, I should. I should have taken one first thing when I woke up. There's another pollen bomb. So they're going to take us down with the pollen bombs. I think mine is mostly trees, because I tend to get hay fever a lot worse at the end of the season. And I've heard that means that it's the pollen trees. Rain always messes me up as well. It's just one of those things that in my mind, I'm like, the rain will stop the pollen from flying everywhere. Rain means everything is fine. But no. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, I had a dream the other day that one of my friends from school died. I forgot to check up on if they're okay. They're probably okay. But I've not checked. They're probably fine though. Yeah. They probably are fine. I just keep forgetting to they didn't die at sea. No. But it's just one of those random dreams. I doubt that I doubt that my dreams are prophetic in such a way. Though he is in the army. Maybe I will check. But yes, I will I will check. I'm sure he's fine. Probably fine. Why does this feel like you're establishing an alibi? Be a weird comfort zone episode if true. I mean, we've just not talked in years. But again, there's a lot of people that I've not talked to because I have like this idea of who they are, but it's based on them as teenagers when everyone's an idiot. Let alone, oh, he giving her kisses. Oh, look at her. Have you ever seen such a precious baby? Oh, you got them stretchy long legs? Yeah, you got, not you. You're round. Hi. Hello, Fifi. Oh, Gerry's trying to attack the camera. What are you doing, Gerry? You're really going ham on this blankie, aren't you? Oh, how the Turners have tabled. Fifi's all calm and Gerry's being a little chaos bean. Look at he. He organised the blankie. You're gonna get it just right. The Turners are under the table, it's true. High school truly never ends though. Always having the cliques and friendship groups. I saw a girl from my high school I had a crush on at the time. She literally turned into the stereotypical Mean Girls girl. Oh jeez. See, whenever I go home, oh, you've not missed Nana. I started like 20 minutes late today. So I guess I could Nana. The nanas are still really green though, so I think the bunnies will still have them, but probably because I put them in the fridge for 2 days, which I have no memory of doing, so it makes me think Alex did it. But I wouldn't put it past myself to do it. I can't remember what I was going to say. I know I have one friend who does a really cool job now. We spoke very briefly a while ago over Facebook Messenger. He does like I can't think how to describe it. He basically makes VR for training pilots to fly, which is a pretty cool job. He used to be a video game teacher, but then he moved and changed job to do that, to be like a VR developer. But I don't really know what happened to everyone else. I know one of my friends recently got engaged, but the rest are all sort of like, was that a binky? Are all quite scattered to the wind, and I just don't really keep up with anyone from school. You get the occasional, like, there's a few people I follow on Instagram, and you get the occasional update, and you're sort of vaguely aware what they're up to. But I guess there's friends that you have only in common that you were in the same place at the same time. And I guess it's not those friendships that particularly stick through the test of time and distance. I can see you, Fifi. There you are. But other than that, my secondary school never had reunions that I know about. Maybe they have them all the time. Maybe I'm the asshole that they never invite. They're having them all the time. But yeah, I don't remember them ever having one. There is so I guess this is it working both ways. There is a person who I still hold in such high regard and have such happy memories of. And in my head, they're like this larger than life figure. And then when I think back, I'm thinking about like a literal, we were in primary school together. And I'm like, how good could this person have been? They were like a 5-year-old. But In my head, I'm like, we were such good friends. If we met now, we'd really get along together. But we wouldn't, because we don't know each other. But it was basically a kid who joined my primary school for a bit, and we used to really get along. I remember them being, in my head, absolutely hilarious. Like the king of comedy, whereas the jokes that they were telling were probably just like, why did the pea poo on the man? Because pee poo. And I'd be like, ha ha ha, absolutely hilarious, top tier comedy gold. Whereas maybe that wouldn't go down so well now. Being 5 years old, everything was hilarious, precisely. But all I remember is them making me laugh at lunchtime one time. And then there was a time where I was walking into town with my mum and I fell over, and I was so sad because falling over as a child is like one of the worst things that's ever happened to you. And him and his mum just happened to be driving past, and they picked us up and gave us a lift. And I always had this image in my head of like, what a kind and gentle man, he's my saviour. And then he left the school like a year later. And because this was before the time of people really, unless you wrote down an address, you didn't really keep in contact. That was it. He was gone. Do you know, funny enough, you say that man was Alex. All I remember about him is that he was very blonde and called Alex. So, but I don't remember his surname. But he was a blonde Alex. But it wasn't Alex because, first thing, he's from Worcestershire, and secondly, he would have been in 2 years above me at school. Whereas this Alex was in my year. But yeah. But yes. It's very, he's from the sauce place, he is. Worcester sauce. Well, he's not from Worcester. But he's from, Worcestershire. Fifi, would you like some banana? Oh, look at her. She's slowly nodding off. Have you had a tough day today? Being a ne'er-do-well? See if I can call Gerry over. I don't know where he's gone. Oh. Gerry! There was a pellet there. Did I already feed it to you? Gerry! I know you're here. Gerry! No, you're Fifi. Yay! Okay. Oh. Oh, geez. Oh, it's gone everywhere. Oh, I banana slimed on the table. Okay. Fifi, there you go. Oh, no. Gerry. I'm sorry, I've just thrown it at my crotch. Is it there? Okay, well, this isn't how I intended this to happen. Oh, you've dropped it. I felt it land on the floor. You're very precarious where you are, my boy. Is this prime banana position? It's there. She's having hers right next to a pile of fluff, so hopefully she won't accidentally eat that. Gerry, it's in front of you. It's in front of you, it's here. Oh, good. Got that good banana goop on me. Oh. Do you hear his little tummy then? Got a grumble tum. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There is no sense of personal space in this house. Hello? Tea. How are you going to get down from there, Gerry? Do you have a game plan? Well done, bunnies. She does want more. She's got Fifi floof flying everywhere. Oh? Oh, you just staying? That's okay. Oh, no. I love that he immediately turned around and, like, nosy bonked me as if I was in his way. I'm like, oh, sorry. Oh, bunnies. Forgot to mention my friends are fostering, probably adopting an abandoned bun. And their mother found in a local scrapyard. Oh, bless. Oh, it's good that they're in and safe now. Got a nice place to stay. What is it with you doing pushing me out? Oh, you got binkies in there. Oh, yes, you do. You can run, but you can't hide from the binkies. There she goes, chaosing into the distance. Hi. You got any binkies in there? That's okay. You're full of cuddles and love. There's not room for binkies all the time. We can't all be full of binkies. Look at he. Oh, I feel like I'm going to sneeze again. Stop. No. Don't you do it. You get back up there. There we go. How do you distinguish a bun and a hare? So hairs are like a lot, everything is a lot longer. Really, like, longer faces, longer limbs, they're like a lot more wiry. The main difference is that bunnies look like they are, only preoccupied with the problems of the day, whereas hares look as if they have seen all possible outcomes of the future and know the terrible end that will befall us all. But yeah, bunnies are just a lot more round boys. Hello. Hares look like they are transformed wizards. But yeah, mostly just more gangly. Hares have looked upon the universe and seen its end. Yeah, that is the main thing. Whereas bunnies have just sort of like, they just worried that they might not get treats. Look at you. Look at this wonderful loaf. He is a perfect loaf. Today me is annoyed at yesterday me because yesterday me thought they would have 2 big slices of toast, whereas that has now left not much bread left for today me. And I think that was very mean of yesterday me to not care about today me's feelings in such a way. I am sad. I'll have to take it up with yesterday me at some point. Do you eat the ends of the bread? Yeah, I eat the knobbies. As Kirsty calls them. Kirsty's from a place where they call the ends of the bread the knobbies. And she's infected my mind with the knobbies. I know someone who calls them the toppers. I literally just call it the crust. Yesterday me left today me over half a Papa John's pizza. Yesterday you were so much nicer. I recall a live stream. Oh yeah, her mum do confirm it. Yeah, the people at work when I worked at the vet used to call it toppers. So I think that's maybe more of like a Bristol common Bristol term. But yeah, we've always just called it the crust. They always just say like, "Do you want the crust?" But yeah, I never heard of knobbies until I met Kirsty. She introduced me. Tea. I just call it the end. It's the end of the bread as we know it. And I need to buy more bread. The heel, I'd forgotten about that one. The heel of the bread. Yeah, sounds more appropriate to the end. Yeah, if it's like the baguette. Because I can imagine that, because that is quite knobbly. Me and my sister, whenever we would go on holiday, we would like when we would go on holiday to like French campsites, me and my sister would get sent out to buy bread every now and then for like the morning. And we would always at some point talk each other into eating the end of the bread, and the bread would like never come back fully whole. We would always have a cheeky nibble. Thinking about it, we in my household, in my house back home, we would call it the knobbly end if it was a baguette. So maybe that was like, maybe that came down from nobbies. Mayhaps. Did we have the same childhood? Because I used to immediately steal the end off the baguette. It's just too tempting. Because like fresh bread, like so good. But yeah, my mum will always be like, "Do you want the middle or do you want the knobbly end?" And I'd be like, "The knobbly end." I do love a good knobbly end. But I never heard my parents use the word knobby in describing bread. Look at his little tail. Look at that. Look at that silly little thing. Should I try and sneak in with the boy? I'm sneaking. Hello. Never really had baguettes enough to remember. Oh, I blooming love baguettes. I mean, there's just something about like fresh bread. It's just so good. I just love bread. My favourite is sourdough. Sourdough makes like the best toast. Bloomin' love sourdough. Oh, link. Members Yogscast video beans on toast sourdough connection made. Ta-da! Advertising promotion. I've done it. I've heckin' done it. I've solved the riddle. But only if you're a Yogscast member. Seamless. Perfect. Nailing it. I'm doing this. We're doing it, Gerry. Well, I guess now is time for me to head off, because I've done the hour after my very late start because of my distraction. My hand is just like resting across Gerry's bum. Should we go and see the otters? I feel like we've not seen the otters in a while. Lovely little otters. Little water weasels. Jerry's like, his ear just turned towards me, and I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I will be back at 2 for Stardew. It's been like almost 2 weeks since we did Stardew, because the last one was last week on Monday. It has been a while. You want to get me more, Nana? Hello, Jerry. You've sat up. We're very squished in together now. Oh no, there's someone at the door. Oh geez. I'll be back in a bit. Send the raid if I'm not back. Bye 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 bye. Be. Oh. Jerry, did they go? Jerry, are they still here? Jerry, don't attack the phone. Jerry, no. Hello. Ah, Fifi. Hello. Hello. I'm guessing people. Hello. We're still here. Okay. It was a parcel. You look like an album cover now. Look at you. Oh, bless you. Well, everyone, bye-bye. Have fun. Have a good... We've gone, okay. No, Fifi. Oh, jeez. Just in time. Fifi. Okay. Bye-bye, everyone. Before she gets amorous. Bye-bye. Bye.